Recording in progress. I now have my mic on, so you should be able to hear me. All right, one second here. Happy Thursday, everyone. All right. Okay, so I don't know about everyone else, but I've been feeling pretty decent lately. Hopefully everyone's been pretty good. Yeah, a lot of like this going around, but maybe we're just getting used to it and maybe that's our new normal. Just this thing that we're feeling and just think, okay, here it is. We'll just go with it. I've been doing lots of reading, so maybe that's why I've been keeping my spirits high because I've kind of shut off all social media. I don't listen to anything. People might be sending me something. I barely look, not to be rude. It's just I'm very conscious about my vibration, what I'm thinking about, and what I'm allowing into my field. So I've been reading some books about ancient masters. I've been reading some other neat things out there. And a few things have stuck in my mind that, it's what I'm noticing is anyone can get downloads of information. When you're in high vibe, we're all connected to infinite intelligence. So that information, that pure information that knows, that protects us, and that we feel calm when we can feel it because we know everything's going to be okay. Anyone can tap into that frequency. It's the all-knowing, infinite intelligence, pure consciousness. When we meditate with the intention of connecting to beings of love and light, you're connecting to a higher consciousness that's going to give you that really nice download or feedback. So there's so many things that affect us as humans right now. As we're hearing things, it gets into our field. So we all have an energetic field. Our field can get really bothered by other people's energies, information, and we want to keep our field nice and clear. And some people go, well, Brenda, I don't understand what this field is. Well, the easiest way to explain it is, when you meet someone and you really like that person and you just want to be in their space, it's usually because they have a very clear field. So you can call it, and some people will say, oh, you have a beautiful aura, because some people can tune in and see it. So some people can see it, and sometimes it's white or blue or purple. People see colors. Some people see yellow. But when someone's not in a good place, when they have worry and fear and they're in illness, it can be cloudy and darker, or someone's really angry or frustrated and you don't want to be around them. And you kind of meet that person, you want to pull back. Well, you're sensing their energy and it doesn't feel so good. So you're kind of pulling yourself away. So today, during the healing today, what we're going to do is we're going to clear your auric field, your biofield, balance your chakras, your meridian system. All that kind of happens naturally with healings. When this energy comes through, it's intelligent energy. And I'm not saying that you have to believe that, but that's how I'm describing it. The energy that comes through kind of goes through my crown and out of my entire body. It used to come out just out of my hands. Now it just kind of comes out of everywhere. And we're holding the space. And while we're in this space of love and light, your higher self is going to take what's best for you. But in that, there's lots of healing happening. So like I said, all those energy systems are being cleared. You're healing at your emotional level, your mental level, a physical level, whatever you're ready to release. This energy is intelligent. It knows who you are, because we all have this thing called a soul signature. We all have our own soul's journey. We all have a pace on how we're going to heal. We all have a place to be, but where we are is perfect and evolving. So a lot of people will say, well, why is my soul journey taking so long? I want to be here instead of here. But where you are is perfect. And I had to let that go of always thinking I should be here, I should have done this, or I wasted so many years not knowing this stuff. So it's like living in that regret. And I see young children, like 16 years old, 15-year-olds, they're so awakened. They're so connected. They just know who they are. And I think back, oh my gosh, I was a mess at 16. I was a mess at 30. I was a mess at, whatever. We're not going to give away my age, but it's like, and then you kind of regret, like, oh, if I only knew what these kids knew today. But you know what? It wasn't meant for me to know it then, because I had to go through all that stuff I went through to bring me to where I am now. So I stay in present moment, not worrying about the past or regretting the past, and then not worrying about the future or where I'm supposed to be, because I'm supposed to be here now. And when you kind of just let that pressure off your shoulders to think that I'm supposed to be doing something, should have done something else, or, maybe I hurt this person's feelings and have regrets and things like that, you just kind of have to forgive yourself. Because forgive yourself, accept yourself, because once you do that, it's like this weight of your shoulders just gets lifted away. And then you can live in the moment and you can live by the call of your heart, which is really interesting because I kind of come to crossroads in my life many times where my mind wants to tell me to do something, but my heart says something else. And back in the day, I would always go with my mind because you don't want to hurt that person's feeling. You don't want to not go to this or not go to that. And then sometimes they're bigger decisions. I shouldn't do that. It's too risky. I should do this because it's not risky. And your mind's doing that. But I've learned over time, just go with the call of my heart. So right now I'm at one of those crossroads where something big's happening and I'm just like, okay, I'm not going to let my mind play tricks on me. I'm just going to go with my heart. This is what I teach, follow your heart. So the neat thing, the way the universe works or your soul, your higher self guides you or God guides you, whatever you want to call it, is sometimes you can see the full picture. But I'm not one who ever gets the full picture. I can see it pretty far out, let's say, but for me, it's very hard to read myself. So what happens is they give me crumbs and I jump to a crumb blindly, not knowing where it's going to lead. Once I'm there, I take another one. And so what I've learned over many years is to trust, know, and believe that your heart will never guide you to the wrong place. And although I teach it, and if I see my kids not doing it, I was like, hey, why aren't you listening to your heart? But then it comes to me making big decisions and I know exactly what my heart wants. And then I have the chatter in my head too, just like anyone else. And the chatter's like, are you crazy? Why would you do that? That's so risky. It's so neat to be, teaching it. But then I sometimes have to listen to other people who say it a different way because I need to rehear it because I know what the answer is. It's just the mind can play tricks on us. So take a deep breath, you go into your heart and the answers are there, but also that heart connection will have you making better responses to people. So you're responding, not reacting. You'll be calmer if you're in your heart. You'll make better decisions. You'll concentrate better. Your relationships will get better. You'll be less frustrated with people around you. You'll actually, when you're more in your heart, you don't actually attract too many crazy conversations because when you're kind of in your heart and you're high vibing, you're going to meet more people like yourself that want to have engaging conversations. When I start to kind of feel a little bit lower in my mood, that's when these kind of awkward conversations come up. And that's usually a good indication of me. So I always look at all my relationships, all my conversations and say, okay, what is it in me that's causing this to happen? So it was a very big pill to swallow over the years to realize I was the cause of everything that's ever happened in my life. And, I've read it, it wasn't sinking in. I'd read it again, wasn't sinking in. But over time, I'd start to chip away at those layers that said, wow, I'm a victim. And as I start to pull those away and realize, no, I'm not a victim. I allowed all those things to happen because of those subconscious programs. And a lot of things are running in the background of all of us that we don't know about. So if you have patterns in your life that you see recurring, it could happen with the same kind of thing happening, different faces, but the same type of thing. I have a lot of clients that say, I have this pattern I can't get rid of. And we can try to get rid of them on our own. But sometimes it depends how deep they are. So you can do the work on your own. Affirmations, meditation, tapping is really good to tap away things. If you're interested in that, I can send you videos on tapping. You can kind of like something comes up, you can tap it away. But sometimes it's deeper, but you can always chip away, chip away, chip away, chip away, chip away at it. There is no one miracle method out there. I've tried many, and I've had clients who've gone to so many, and I go, you know what, you never wasted your time trying different things, because it does chip away at that resistance. It does break down programs. It does break down ancestral ties. There's things called family constellation issues, past life traumas. We're very complicated beings. But the one thing that I can say over and over, and I say it to myself, is never give up. Just keep pulling it out, because even sometimes I get a bit like, okay, I know my heart's telling me to go here, but I still get that little voice in my head. It's not this loud anymore. It's like very, very tiny, but it's still there sometimes saying, why would you do something stupid like that? You're going to fail. And I'm just like, okay, I have a program saying that I'm not good enough for something, so let's chip it away. So if I have something bubbling up, maybe old memories coming up, I don't repress the memory. I let it come up and I deal with it and say, okay, I'm going to deal with this if I'm letting it go now. Anything that comes in your life, take it as a blessing. So bad things can happen to all of us. We live on planet Earth, but everything is really just neutral. When you look at something, an event, you get to choose how you define it. So anything that's happening, think of the worst thing that happened to you this week. Now, you can choose to look at it as the worst event that happened to you this week, or it was one of the best reminders I had this week of something I need to work on, of something that is showing me what's inside me that I need to fix. And when you start to go within and say everything that's happening around me is due to my thought process hiding in the subconscious mind, sometimes we have simple things, but they're like psychological reversals where deep in the back, I don't deserve to heal. So I've come across some of those where I'm trying to do all these healing. I'm like, what is going on? It's so frustrating. I can't let it go. Well, when I've gone deep, I realize there's something in the background that says, I'm not going to heal. I don't deserve to heal. So it's like sometimes you have to neutralize those before you can come to the issue and release it. So it seems a bit complicated, but the simplest way I can see it is every time you're doing a healing, is think of it that your higher self is directing it based on where you're at. And all this stuff comes up from our field. And it's like thousands of things. And it's a percentage. So let's say I had a big trauma at age 3. That's not all coming to the forefront in a healing. A small percentage of that is coming up, whatever I can handle to release, along with a lot of percentages of a lot of things. So it's like having this icky layer that as we do the healing kind of zaps away. But I'm not forcing anything to zap away on myself, on any of you, because when we're doing this healing, when we're going through this healing process, each of us is being guided by our higher self, our soul that knows us the best, working with this intelligent universal energy, this creative source, God energy. And we're kind of allowing that to happen naturally. So it just lifts away. So we feel lighter, but we don't have to know what left. Some people want a very detailed account of what left their field. I can't do that because there's way too many things. And sometimes I find that counterproductive, because if we're trying to focus on this one thing that left, well, we're kind of maybe stopping everything from going. So I always believe that if you're meant to know something that left your field during a session, during meditation, during something, your guides are going to let you know. So you'll have a clear indication. Either a memory will come up, a feeling, an old feeling that you remember that you didn't like, or some people have visions. Some people just have a knowing of what it was. We're all very different. But if you're not sure what left your field, who cares? Just know that a beautiful healing happened. And if we stop trying to understand what's leaving, what happens is we give greater power to the leaving, because what we're doing is we're trusting, we're believing and knowing we're getting a beautiful healing. So that's kind of what shifted over the many years I've been doing this. Is before I used to want to know and understand and this, and I have a science background. So I really want to know, how is this working? What's happening? I asked so many questions. I used to drive my mentors crazy, and they said, Brenda, I was once messed up and confused like you. Now, I can't say I'm 100% not confused once in a while, because that left brain of mine wants to know what's happening in this. But what I've learned is, you know what, knowing and just trusting are so different, and just letting it go and trusting that it's working. And that's what makes the healing so powerful, when you surrender to the process. So some people will say, but I want to have a big shift. Well, if your mind's always wondering what's going on, and you're always trying to understand everything, you're still going to get a healing and you're still going to move forward. But what I found is, over the years, my biggest hindrance was my mind overthinking everything and trying to understand. Once I came to that place saying, okay, there's just things this human mind can't understand. And when you just place that trust in everything and say, you know what, I'm just going to go with it. And I know that whatever happens, I'm going to feel better. I'm going to feel lighter. I'm more connected, and I'm in just liquid love. And I know that. Well, then miracles happen. So some people do get those miracles and they're just ready for them. But don't be upset if you're not ready for them, because that's just resistance that you kind of have to peel away. Think of all those belief patterns that we've received. I mean, here's a typical one. I mean, I grew up Catholic. Catholic people should not be doing what I was doing. I remember my dad telling me, you're going to purgatory. And that kind of hurt, because I'm like, oh, what is this purgatory? I heard about it, it was scary. But then I always had to that was something I had to resolve. So how could I have this type of work complement some of the beautiful things I've learned? So there's a lot of good in everything we learn, but there's a lot of limiting beliefs in it too. And that's where we are our own person. We're walking in our own shoes. Nobody knows our perspective. Nobody knows what you've been through, what you've seen, what you've heard, what is in your field, your past lives, your karmic debts, all that. Nobody knows. So who am I to say that this person should be here and not there? Who's to say that anyone's going to understand where I'm from? I could tell people my life story and blah, blah, blah. But in the end, even if you tell people, they're not going to know what's there. We don't even know what's in our field. That's why we walk around with these limitations or burdens or hindrances or these game stoppers. Like, we're trying to get here, but we can't go because there's stuff running in the background. So if we don't know ourselves, how is anyone else supposed to understand us? So I don't think there's ever really a right or wrong. But when you're experiencing an experience, look at it for what it is. Why did this come into my life? What is it trying to teach me? And what does that tell about me, like where I'm at, what's coming up? Sometimes it's something that your guides are really trying to push for healing, and you're going to keep getting it until you look at it and say, oh my gosh, this has been happening in my life for the last 20 years. I'm just noticing it now. And then there's a little bit of embarrassment that you'll go through, because I've gone through saying, how did I not notice that before? Well, I wasn't ready to notice it. When I was ready to notice it, I noticed it. And I think back and I thought, oh my God, there were so many people that told me, Brenda, you have this issue. And I just thought, I didn't understand them. I couldn't hear them because I wasn't ready to resolve it. So as you're working on yourself and you're doing all those self-help things, looking in the mirror and saying, I love you, Brenda, that is so, it's not the only thing to get us releasing stuff, but that's one of many things. Journaling, affirmations are very powerful. Affirmations, that sounds like you're stating a lie. Like if you're in a bad place and you say, every day I'm feeling better. Yeah, okay, that sounds like such a lie. Keep saying it, because you're putting out that intention, and that intention will start coming back to you. It's better than saying, oh, I feel like crap today and every day is going to feel like crap. You don't want to say that, because that's going to come. So you kind of lie about the situation and just kind of keep moving forward. and you take 1 inch forward, and you might take a centimeter back, or 2 feet forward and one back. That's okay, because you're inching and inching and inching better and better and better. That's what's happening right now with everything that's going on. This ascension process feels icky, but sometimes we're in 2 steps forward and sometimes we're in the back phase, but we are making progress. And depending on your mood, you can see that progress. So if you're vibrating high, you start to see all these beautiful things that are happening. If you're vibrating low, you're going to start seeing all the crappy things happening. So 5 people can be walking down the street and everyone's going to have a different experience. The person who is depressed is going to see very sad, depressing things as they walk down the street. Someone who is happy is going to notice the birds were singing, the green leaves, all these beautiful things. And then everyone's in between is going to see their experience. So is anyone's experience wrong? No. Do I have a right to say that person's wrong? Or do they have a right to say I'm right? No, we're just having our different experiences based on our belief systems, our patterns, our limiting beliefs, our willingness to be open, which is kind of a hard one for many, because a lot of us can walk through a lens like this. But as you start to do work, your lens is going to get bigger, and it's going to get bigger and bigger. And then you have like the Tesla guy, Elon Musk, who doesn't have any limitations. Like, he's just like, anything's possible. It's so neat because he's let go of that. That's why he can creatively think about all these really cool things. As someone said, well, you're crazy, you're thinking like that. He's not crazy. He's just learned to uncap those, get rid of those limitations, and just be open to all that information that's flowing through. So I strive to do that every day. Anything that comes and makes me uncomfortable, I'm like, okay, what is it in me that's making me uncomfortable? It's a resistance. There's a belief system hiding there. How do you get rid of it? You might say, well, if I feel something like, that's impossible, I'll say affirmations. No, anything is possible. And when you start putting that, like, anything is possible, it is amazing what is possible. I can tell crazy stories of things that happen that should not happen in this world because they seem like mini miracles or things that are just too strange for people to believe. I mean, I tell my kids and they look at me like, Mom, like, you're just so strange. But no, they happen. But why do they happen? Because that belief system that they can happen is now gone. And humanity is now evolving into something so beautiful. We're having instantaneous healings more than ever before. You're hearing about it very commonly. Before, it was the one-offs. Now they're happening. Spontaneous healings are happening. Why? Because we used to only use 30% of our innate healing system. And now some people are really increasing to using 70% or more. And once that's activated, it knows exactly what's wrong in your body, and it stops feeding those cells that aren't healthy, and boom, 3 days later, you can be completely healed. It is really neat. And it can be done through a belief that you're eating healthy, a belief that you know you can get better. You're going to be talking to your body and saying, listen, body, I know you are smart. I know you have an innate system, and I'm tapping into it. Also, you can ask for help from other realms, like the 10th dimension. There are beings in the 10th dimension that love to help you. So as you're laying in bed, you say, okay, I'm laying in bed. Whatever I need healing, please, work on me. I give you permission. Asking, you will receive. If we don't ask, we don't receive. So ask for help. If you're feeling nervous or worried, ask your spirit guides or the light or whatever you want to call it. I'm feeling really nervous today. Bring calmness and peace to my day. Today, I had to I'm making this decision. I go, there's something that I want to answer within the next hour. I want 2 signs that I'm on the right track, and I want them to be very apparent. And then boom, boom, I said, wow, this is so phenomenal. So I get all excited, and I usually write a little journal of all these cool things that happen. I don't really do it that often, but I like to, because when I get to my destination, which always goes next one and next one, but currently there's a destination. Well, what happened is I love to see all the points that I listened to get there. So and it seems like there's no way I went from here to here. I would have never known it. But if you take one step and one step and one step and just let your limitations go and follow your heart, all of a sudden you're there. It's like, wow, phenomenal. This is such a beautiful world. We are all powerful beings. Your magnificence is inside you. There's nothing we're doing in this healing to make you magnificent. You're already perfect, magnificent, powerful beings. All that we're doing in this is we're working together to co-create a beautiful space so you can get rid of that limitations, those negative belief patterns, that I'm not good enough patterns, that I'm undeserving patterns, those things that make ourselves doubt ourselves, where we can't see openly what's really going on. That's all we're doing. So we're getting that cloud of ickiness away so you can become your authentic self that you know is there. For those of you on the call, the reason that you're here is because you know there's something calling you here. There's a lot of people that cannot handle the sound of my voice. If you introduce someone and say, "Oh, check out this girl Brenda," they'll like, "No way, she's irritating, she's this, she's that." It's a resistance within them. So I never take it as a, I don't take it personally. I get it. I smile and just send love, because by sending love, you're kind of chipping away. I may never work with them. That's fine. But anywhere we go, holding the light is chipping away the darkness from those who don't know any better. So when you become a little more, you start your awakening process and you realize how powerful I am. And then you don't understand why other people don't know. And then you kind of pity them that they don't know, because they're living a life being tossed in a current of other people's creations. But when you start creating from within, you are creating your own reality. And then that is a very powerful place to be, because you can create your health, your emotions, your mental state, and then you can pretty well create anything. Your friends get better, your life gets better, your career gets better, your calmness gets better, and we're just allowing all that fear and crap to leave our field and just pulling in so much light. Wow. Okay, I'm gonna stop talking because it's like almost 9. I don't think I talked enough to people outside of my home today. So you guys got quite the earful. Wow. Okay. So we're going to get into the healing session. So the way this works for some of you who might be new is the session. Actually, I need some water. 1 second, please. Okay. So as this energy is already flowing, it's already flowing, but it's going to just magnify as we start. So it is going to reach all of you because we're working in the same field we're all connected in. Just like when you think of a friend and the friend calls, how did that happen? Well, we're all connected in a human consciousness. So we're in this field together. We're going to create this beautiful space, and your higher self is going to take whatever you need to release. So nothing can be forced. It's just made available. We'll make it available to anyone in your household, any pets. Again, if their higher self deems it appropriate, it'll use it in the way they need to do it. And we will also, if you want to, I always now send out an intention to send this loving energy to any human being that needs it. Even any animal, anything in existence. It is that powerful. This light is so powerful, it can heal millions at once, and it's individual. So your healing is not affected by anyone else's. It knows you. It loves you unconditionally, and it wants you to heal. We are getting so much healing happening on this planet because we are in a really, really beautiful time on this planet. Although it feels uncomfortable because we're all changing, it is for the greater good of everybody. So we'll set the intention to send it out to everyone and everything that needs it. Of course, everyone on the call, their families. I'll do a clearing of your homes just to make them feel lighter. Just get it, because we all collect dense energy. So we'll just clear that away. If you fall asleep, continue sleeping. You don't have to stay awake during a Reiki. That's going to continue working. I don't even know if this is called Reiki anymore. I would just call it just think of it as this liquid love infusing every cell and every part of your being that is doing miraculous things. It is a Reiki times something. It's phenomenal. So I'm getting excited to do it. I do get the healing as well because as it comes through me, it does work on me as well. But you are not getting my energy, just so you know. It is intelligent, love and light energy that knows who you are. And Jay, it's almost like, and I don't want to say like they're applauding. It's not like they're applauding, but it's like having, I don't know, 70 mothers just bathing you in love. And I don't know. I can't explain. It's hard to explain it in words for those of you who actually feel the sensations. You kind of know it's almost unexpressible. In there's not enough language to express it. It's a feeling. But what is happening is you're going to get a beautiful infusement of love and light that was going to continue to work in your field for the next 4 or 5 days. So you might feel thirsty. That's okay. Drink as much water as you can or as you need to. You might even have to wake up at night to drink. Go ahead and do it because you're releasing toxins. So if something breaks up, they start working on something else. So just allow it. So you, after today's session, you might say, okay, body, you got something really nicely intense. Keep working with it. I allow the healing because you're here on the call, which is phenomenal. Your higher self is ready to go. And then if you give extra permission to say, I'm like a strong intent. Let's say if someone's hurting inside, just say, listen, cells, you're going to get a really nice healing now. And I know you can take it and just be phenomenal because really our birthright is to be healthy, happy, joyful, all those good things. So let's just release all that resistance and have a peaceful night. We do put the intention for a peaceful sleep tonight. Some of you might be more restless as things are purging out. Some people burp, some people have upset stomachs. That is okay. That's just the way your body heals. Just go with it. Just drink the water and allow it to do its thing. All right. Okay, I'm going to put on music. Hopefully it's not too loud. If it is, just use the chat box to let me know and we'll begin. I'm just going to share it through my system. It'll sound better, I believe. I'm assuming that's not too loud. Again, you can close your eyes, keep your eyes open, you can fall asleep. There's no right or wrong. You don't have to listen to my music. You can shut it off. At the end, I use a bowl, which is kind of just push all the energy out that needs to go. And that's it. Okay, let's get started.
Say
Okay, everyone. If you want to stay in that Zen feeling, feel free to just hang up, have a peaceful sleep. I'm just going to respond to some things in here. Okay, so that was pretty intense. So for those of you, my daughter said, Mom, remind people of this. She's so cute. So, and I just remembered, if you do have a hard time sleeping today, because there might be purging, a way to settle down is if you lay on your back straight, cross your hands, and cross your ankles in any way that's comfortable, and lay on your back for as long as possible. If you're a side sleeper, you're going to turn over in probably 30 seconds, but try to stay in as long as you can. And if you go to sleep, great. But if you're a side sleeper, then come back to the back and do that again. What that does is when you have your arms crossed and your ankles crossed, there's a beautiful energy that'll come through and really relax you. So it's funny because when my daughter goes, Mom, I can't sleep, and she's so hyper, she'll lay down like this, and 30 seconds she's asleep. It's so amazing. So today she said, make sure you tell people that. So I'm saying that because it probably at least one person out there will need to hear that. So, well, thank you everyone for the kind remarks. You know, I love doing this as much as we all love receiving it. The energies are so intense. Oh my gosh, there's so much love in this place. It's very exciting. I think I've now switched my whole outlook to life to think everything and anything is just beautiful out there. And now I'm only focusing on all the good things, and I'm only seeing good things. So it's amazing how you create your focus and bring more of it. So you all have the power to do it. It's your mind. You focus on your thoughts and do what's in your heart. And anything I talk about, anything I say, again, if it resonates, great. And if it doesn't, just say, okay, something silly Brenda said, and ignore it. And, you know, you filter through what works for you and ignore what doesn't work. All right, everyone, I'm going to say good night. It's been quite a long day, so we're going to, and if anyone has any questions, I can stay on. But if there's no questions, I'm going to go through here. Lots of thanks, so thank you, everyone. It's always a pleasure to do this. Actually, the energy starts even, I don't know if some of you feel it, but it actually starts about an hour before the session, starts trickling in already. And some people might feel a little bit anxious the day before or a few hours before as you're getting ready to release something. It's really neat how this all works. All right. Okay, everyone. I think we're good. There's no questions. Much love to all of you. Sleep well. And again, drink lots and lots of water and purge those toxins out of there. All right, everyone. Have a good one. I'll send out the replay by tomorrow at some point. And you can always share it with with anyone you think might like it. But again, if they say no, don't worry about it. Okay, everyone. Have a good one. Sending you all love, peaceful sleeps, and a good rest. All right. Thank you, everyone. Good night.